What is the true fair market value of XRP? Now, before you run to the comment section and tell me that it's 50 cents, that would be the market value, not the fair market value, okay? And in this video, we're going to show you guys the distinguishing characteristics between those two ways of, finding value for an asset. But then there's also 4 other ones for a total of 6 ways that the financial services industry finds value in assets, businesses, commodities, whatever we're going to be talking about. But today's topic, I wanted to hit home on this because the XRP community has been inundated with a lot of negativity. And I get that a lot of people are stressed out and frustrated. And before I get into it, I want to be very, very, very clear. I am sympathetic for those that strove to do good, be successful in life, work your butt off, started a business, made some investments. And life has a way of still kicking us down sometimes. But the real ones, the ones that are going to make it, get back up and continue showing up every single day, just like we do here on this channel. If that's you, I appreciate you. Now, if you've made bad life decisions and you want to blame the XRP ledger, you want to blame XRP, you want to blame Ripple, I have absolutely no tolerance, patience, or sympathy for those types of folks. And I'll share the most extreme example. We got guys, their girlfriend leaves them. And instead of being accountable, they want to blame XRP. Oh, if XRP would have just gone up in price, I probably wouldn't have been able to keep my girlfriend. That's the most extreme example, but you get the point. Folks are having external conflicts and situations, and they want to blame the XRP ledger. They want to blame XRP. We got some businesses and developers. Well, I guess you could call them businesses. You got some guys trying to build some things. They haven't been viable businesses. Who do they want to blame? Not themselves. They want to blame Ripple. Oh, if Ripple would have just given me a handout of 1 million XRP, we'd be fine. No. Let's get back to building real value. Let's get back to accountability. And I put out a tweet here not too long ago. We got a bunch of scammers and people that couldn't remain solvent that want to come in and bring our energy down, want to bring our vibe down. Like I said, let me be very, very clear. I have sympathy for folks that have had a tough go at it. Life's kicked them down. I'm not saying that I don't get that. I get that. Bad crap happens to good people every single day. That's how life works. And when we take accountability, when we bring the power back into what we can control, then we control our destiny. And that's for me where our focus needs to be at. Building positivity, building real businesses, real value, and letting all these guys that weren't going to make it anyways, they can yell, shout as loud as they want, but we're not going to give them any attention as we just keep on building real value, utilizing the XRP ledger. And obviously, we have a few other blockchains that we think are going to be a part of this as well. And I'm going to highlight that in today's video. Now, let's get right on into it, folks. We have a market that has been absolutely ripping. This right here is your Bitcoin chart, back up to 48,300 at the time of this recording, 2,500 for your Ethereum, and XRP lagging, but up to about 53 cents. Went up to about 53.5 cents so far today. This is our daily charts. Now, I did want to let you guys know I've added a few coins to my portfolio, and this is very important. I see a lot of people that are they're deciding to sell off their XRP to go buy something else. That's fine. I'm not here to be your financial advisor. That's not what I'm going to do. So let me be very clear. There is no XRP being sold over here so that I can go FOMO into another project. If I have such a big desire to FOMO into a project, I'm going to go work my butt off to get some more dough that I can invest in these projects. And that's exactly what I've done. So don't for one second think that I have sold off any XRP or any of my other positions so that I could go add back these new coins. Now, the new coins, well, I'll show you which ones we've FOMO'd into. First off, it would be the SEI token right here, and that is SEI is the ticker. Remember, this is not financial advice. I'm not telling you to buy this coin or give you any sort of signal. I'm just telling you that I was interested in the story behind this coin. They have some memes for those of you guys that know Dragon Ball Z, the Super Saiyans, right? So they have memes and they tout themselves as the fastest blockchain. I break this down in, I'll be breaking this down in another video, kind of more in depth. The other coin that I just added after that would be Flare. So I FOMO'd back into Flare. As this thing ripped back above 3 cents, I had a target right down here for 2 3/4 cents. And that's exactly where we came back down to. Now, Flare has built back up again, remaining incredibly strong, and I got a couple data points on Flare that I do want to share with you guys here later in this video. The other coin that I FOMO'd into just a couple days ago was Stronghold. And I want to give a huge shout out to those of you guys that have been invested in this project for a while. And this is where I have missed the boat in a large part, because you guys have been telling me to research Stronghold, to look at Stronghold for probably 2 years, right? Since this coin really came out. And I've had a chance to buy this thing at a much, much cheaper price over the last year or two. And I completely didn't. I missed it. But I finally did get in, and it continues to rip up. It's pushing up, and it did just hit a 1 cent price. We'll continue to see where it goes from here. Once again, not telling you guys to buy into these. I'm just saying these are positions that I've added to my portfolio, and I like to stay transparent with you guys. And what I notice in the XRP community right now, we see a lot of people that are saying, "Oh, I sold off my XRP to go into here. I sold off my XRP to buy this coin." That's fine, right? You want a little bit of attention, go ahead, right? For me, I see a story, I see a narrative, I see some memes, I see some momentum on as far as a TA perspective, and I FOMO in. And if I get wrecked for buying into green candles, then that's a lesson that I'm willing to learn. And so I'm just wanting to point that out to you guys and let you guys know that I'm not just sitting around holding my XRP. I'm building my businesses. I am looking to invest in real estate asset class. I am looking at private equity opportunities. I am adding other little coins to my bag as well. Now, let's get through it. So President Biden wants to give us a Super Bowl update. He says, while you were Super Bowl shopping, did you notice smaller than usual products where the price stays the same? Folks are calling it shrinkflation, and it means companies are giving you less for every dollar you spend. I'm calling on the big consumer brands to put a stop to it. This is our president with a Super Bowl message. Let's listen in here, folks.
The Super Bowl is Sunday. If you're anything like me, you like to be surrounded by a snack or two while watching the big game. You know, when buying snacks for the game, you might have noticed one thing. Sports drinks bottles are smaller. A bag of chips has fewer chips, but they're still charging you just as much. And as an ice cream lover, what makes me the most angry is that ice cream cartons have actually shrunk in size, but not in price. I've had enough of what they call shrinkflation. It's a ripoff. Some companies are trying to pull a fast one by shrinking the products little by little and hoping you won't notice. Give me a break. The American public is tired of being played for suckers. I'm calling on companies to put a stop to this. Let's make sure businesses do the right thing now.
Now, I could do an hour-long show about the problem, the real problem behind this, and why companies are resorting to shrinkflation. I'm not going to, because we have some other things I want to get to. But you guys, this is absolutely hilarious. He just put out the tweet yesterday, or sorry, that was Friday. He said, as we roll into the weekend, let's celebrate how high the stock market is, or something along those lines, right? And so he's touting the S&P 500 at 5,000. He's trying to highlight shrinkflation. And this all comes back to, the Federal Reserve engineered crisis that we now find ourselves in the middle of. And, on one hand, how can you criticize the inflation and the shrinkflation, but then on the other hand, you can cheerlead an S&P 500 at a 5,000 all-time high? It's both part of the same problem. Like, he doesn't want to get to the root cause of that. You know that deal. Nonetheless, I hope you guys enjoy your Super Bowl Sunday. Key events coming up this week. We do get the CPI inflation data on Tuesday, retail sales data on Thursday, Philly Fed manufacturing on Thursday, and the PPI on Friday. Total of 8 Fed speakers this week, with about 20% of the S&P 500 companies reporting earnings. So it's going to be a massive week. Continuing on, as I mentioned, Flare, I did add it back to my portfolio, but we still have more than 7 billion Flare are not wrapped or staked, hence missing out on the monthly Flare drops. So many people not knowing that you can wrap your Flare or stake it to receive the drops. And I think there's some 20-something drops that are still coming. You guys can let me know in the comments down below. There was just another Flare airdrop just the other day. And so the DeFi system, the DeFi ecosystem over here for Flare is rapidly growing. The co-founder of Flare, Hugo Filion, comes out today, and he says that the F asset, FXRP, will enable XRP to come to Flare and also other ecosystems through Layer Cake. This lets DApp, decentralized application developers, Build dApps that can interact with the multiple cross-chain assets that will exist and already exist on Flare. Now, if hooks were on the XRP ledger, Flare could also serve its high-quality, decentralized data to dApps built using hooks. So, at the end of the day, what we're looking at right now is an ecosystem around the XRP ledger that's going to help add utility. And you're talking about Flare, right? They're going to wrap and create the F asset FXRP. You're talking about Zahao, the smart contracts hooks platform. And then we also see the EVM sidechain that is going to use XRP as a gas token as well. All of these, right, will have interoperability with XRP through that cross-chain bridge that's coming through XLS38D. That's absolutely massive. Now let's take a look here at Dark Defender, giving us a little TA update on Flare. It says that we're in the middle of this current wave, this fourth wave, corrective wave back down, and he's got a critical support for us basically at 2.5 cents, which is where I actually found support as well. There's a reason why I'd put that support at 2.75 cents. That was 0.0275. And that's exactly where we came back down to. But I have support level right here at about the 2.5 cent level as well. We'll continue to watch that one. But then on the upside, he has this thing going up to maybe 4 or 5 cents, which gets very, very exciting for many of us that are invested in Flare. But I think that that could be, just the start for Flare on where this thing's going, because that move looks like it's ready to happen here relatively soon. And I, believe that we're continuing this bull run well into later this year and continuing into next year. And he has this fourth wave finishing up here sometime in March and then carrying us up into that fifth wave that takes us up into 4 or 5 cents sometime in April, May. So that's a very quick move, but that's just the beginning of this bull run, which gets very exciting for us on the TA perspective for Flare. Now let's talk fair market value. Let's talk about the different ways to determine value on assets, and let's bring this all in together. This tweet here by Molly Elmore in Val Hill Capital is an incredible little cheat sheet on value. When understanding the value of an asset, it's important to clarify which approach or calculation you're referring to. There are quite a few methods to determine value. Here is a cheat sheet of 6 common methodologies. So the financial services industry determines value multiple ways. How are those methods different? Which asset types are relevant for each? This is what's important in understanding determining an asset's value, or a business, or a piece of real estate, or a commodity. You have the market value. Market value is the current price at which an asset or service can be bought or sold in an open and competitive market, i.e. XRP's market value is about 53 cents right now. Then we're going to talk about fair market value in a second. But next, let's talk about the intrinsic value, the value of an asset based on its core components. So this is determined oftentimes in commodities, right? What is the intrinsic value that you can get, right, out of the core components of gold, of a silver, right? Notional value, often used in derivatives. For example, when you're using 100x leverage and trading crypto like a degen, right? The notional value of your trade is not the $100 that you put in, but it's the $100 times the 100 leverage that gives you that total notional value of that position. And when we talk about derivatives, right, this is where the notional value of the derivatives market is well into the quadrillions. In fact, they can't even keep track of it because it's a shadow asset class. Now, for net present value, that would be the present day value of an asset in contrast to a potential future value it will have when it has been invested in at compound interest. So that's another form. Then we also have book value, aka carrying value or net asset value, is the value of an asset that is recognized on a company's balance sheet. It is determined as the cost paid for acquiring an asset minus any depreciation, amortization, or impairment costs applicable to the asset. So for example, this is a good example right here. The XRP that's held in escrow has a book value of 0 on Ripple's balance sheet. We've been talking about this one for a while, right? Ripple, using the GAAP, generally accepted accounting practices, they are noting the escrow as a value of 0 on their balance sheet, which is the proper thing to do because they don't have control of it. They can't use it. They don't have access to it. Do they have the rights to it? Yes. But the book value of it on their balance sheet is 0. That's a good example of book value. So as you can see, there are, 6 different ways to value assets, commodities, companies, real estate. And I wanted to talk about the fair market value and make a couple very, very important key distinctions here in regards to XRP. Take a look at this. This is the fair market value right here. And you guys see this right here. Let's read this together. The price that an asset would sell for on the open market, assuming that both the buyer and seller are reasonably knowledgeable about the asset. Let's stop right there. You have even folks like myself that have dedicated their whole lives, you would think, right? Not my whole life, but I've dedicated a lot of time to researching XRP, and many other people have as well. Even folks like myself, though, do not have all of the facts, all of the circumstances. We are reasonably knowledgeable to an extent with what is open and made available for everybody to see, but there's still a lot to this story that we don't know. Folks like myself that dedicate thousands of hours still don't know all of the deals that Ripple has done. I don't know. I haven't seen the 1,700 pre-allocation contracts and distribution contracts that Ripple did that were cited in the SEC lawsuit. That's sealed and, not disclosed for everybody to see. 1,700 contracts just within the SEC lawsuit that were named. I don't know the 23 other counterparties that received XRP through on-demand liquidity institutional sales that was cited in the SEC lawsuit. I don't have the names of those companies. I could take a guess at it, and it would have been a lot easier to guess which companies had XRP distributed to them when Ripple only had 300 partners, but now they have 500 partners. Do you start to see how even folks that research XRP every single day still don't have all of the facts to understand what would be the fair market value of XRP? I can put together all my assumptions and speculation, and maybe my fair market value of XRP is going to be more than what it actually is. But you get the point here that without all of the facts, circumstances, and knowledge about the asset, we can't even determine fair market value ourselves. Continuing on, are behaving in their own best interest. Well, a lot of people in our community are not behaving in their own best interest as far as shooting themselves in the foot and, damaging themselves as far as bad decisions, not just in investing, but in many other ways. But continuing on, this is the other main point that I wanted to get to, are free of undue pressure. See, we have many in our community that are not free of undue pressure, and that has been caused by the SEC lawsuit. and it's been compounded. It's been made a whole heck of a lot worse by the recession in the bear market, and are given a reasonable time period for completing the transaction. Fair market value is different than market value and appraised value. Depending on the asset, real estate versus business, a series of formulas and calculations are used to determine fair market value. So we have a lot of people that want to call it quits, that want to give up at a moment in time here where we're about to get a tremendous amount of utility, where we're about to be the only asset with legal clarity, where we're about to see Ripple fire up partnerships and products in the United States, and they are not even going to allow us discover what the fair market value of XRP is. Now, are we ever going to get all of the contracts, in the SEC versus Ripple lawsuit? We're about to get the financial statements are going to be given to the SEC, and then the on-demand liquidity contracts to institutions are going to be given to the SEC. How much of that will be made public for us? That's yet to be determined, but most likely a lot of it's going to be sealed up. Which brings us back to the point where we don't have all of the facts in front of us. We don't know how many pre-allocation contracts Ripple has done for that escrow. A lot of people, I believe, are underestimating what Ripple has been able to do that is just yet to be unveiled. And I'm talking pre-allocation contracts. Another thing that we don't know, once this AMM goes live, we have no idea how much liquidity Ripple is going to inject, because they have obviously a big pile of XRP. And when this AMM liquidity pools go live, they could inject 1 billion XRP right into that XRP USD liquidity pool, the XRP Bitcoin liquidity pool. They could put 1 billion into this pool. They could put 1 billion into that pool. And we could literally create and provide the best liquidity in the world for some of these trading pairs right on the XRP ledger. This is all stuff that you need to add into the fair market value equation that you just can't. There's no way to do it. The only people that can actually come to probably the best fair market value valuation of XRP would be Ripple themselves. They know what their plan is with that XRP. They know how many pre-allocation contracts have been done. Us on the outside, retail investors, what are we inundated with right now? A lot of people who couldn't stay solvent, a lot of people who now want to shill other scams to us, and you're seeing an influx of new scam tokens being created on the XRP ledger. A lot of people that were big XRP community members. Now what are they doing? They're shilling some crap. It's pathetic. And a lot of people are wanting to blame Ripple, wanting to blame the XRP ledger, wanting to blame XRP for why their business is struggling, for why their girlfriend left them, for why whatever other issues they're facing, for the bad decisions that they've made. It's not XRP's fault that you made bad decisions. It's not Ripple's fault that you can't please your girlfriend. And like I said, we control our destiny when we take accountability and we take control of what we can actually determine on a daily basis, which is how are we going to continue moving the needle forward in our lives? Despite what XRP is going to do today, what can we do to wake up and get some actions done that move us in that right direction? And way too many people allowing the negativity to wear them down, and then the losing faith, losing conviction, and they're dumping a position that really the fundamentals haven't changed. The fundamentals have only gotten better. But the shiny new object comes by. It's easier to not take accountability and to blame somebody else, right? Oh, if Ripple would have bailed out my company for 1 million XRP, we would have built the best business on the XRP ledger. I beg to differ. Show that you can build value without a handout from Ripple, and then maybe Ripple will actually put a little fuel on your fire. You got to get something cooking first. And this is why I continue to say from the very beginning of this year, we have to set our intentions, set your goals, and control your energy. This is probably the most difficult part, is to stay focused and control your energy when we have all these people, longtime XRP community members, that want to bail out. They want to, they want to launch a scam token so that they can, cover their bags in the meantime, right? They haven't been able to stay solvent. They need money now. Let's launch a scam token. Let's put some crappy JPEGs up in an NFT project and, oh, I just want to build a community. It's a load of crap. And I could say a whole lot more on this, but I'm trying to stay nice. I'm trying to be polite. But it's a load of crap. Oh, my little NFTs and my little community. I'm biting my tongue right now. It's a freaking joke. I'd say it right to their face too, but they wouldn't be able to handle the truth. And they want to bail out from Ripple. It's pathetic. I got to cut this video off before I say any more. Will we ever find out the fair market value of XRP? Yes, we will. Okay. We're going to get this lawsuit behind us. We got utility coming. Ripple is firing up, flipping the switch in the United States of America. I'm not bailing out here yet. Now, let me know in the comments down below what you think the fair market value of XRP is going to be. I know some people got 50,000, they got 100,000 in mind. For me, I think that we're even looking at just a fun little story, even if we just go to 10 to 50 bucks. We don't even have to break $100 for this to get interesting for me. Do I think that the fair market value of XRP is higher than $100? Probably. And I'm excited to go on the journey with you guys as we find this out. If you guys appreciate the updates, you guys know what to do. I will see you in the next one. Have a fantastic Super Bowl Sunday. And don't let the fudsters and the scamsters and all this negativity bring you down. Control your energy, and let's bring some order to this chaos. God bless. I am your host, Zach Rector. I really appreciate all of the love and support. If you want to support the channel, just remember that you can start by smashing that thumbs up for me, sharing this content far and wide, and everything else is at my website.